Pilots Andrew and Helen Berry are building an Art Deco house in Surrey. Using 21st century technologies, they're hoping to recreate all the glamour of the 1930s in a way that's gentler on the environment. It's just 3 weeks into the build, and after a tour of duty abroad, Helen's back in the country.
Oh, this is very exciting, I must say. I haven't seen this place for about a week and a half. Oh my word. Oh, it's brilliant. Hi, Alan. It's looking great. It's looking brilliant.
The front of Andrew and Helen's house will have a dramatic Art Deco facade with a spectacular curved entranceway.
I love what they've done here. It's so neat. Unfortunately, we're not going to see much of it because it's going to be rendered over the top of it, but it's a beautiful curve. Really pleased with that.
Though they're only a couple of weeks into the build, the house is going up at a rate of knots.
So how have they managed to put these walls up so quickly? Well, the answer is they are not using traditional concrete blocks, which are made out of cement, which is highly polluting, and they also weigh a ton. Instead, they're using these things, super lightweight blocks, which are made from recycled materials. And look, 3 of these equals 1 of those. They are so light. And the reason for that is that inside these blocks there are millions and millions of tiny little air bubbles. It's like a bar of aero chocolate.
This technology is called Aircrete, and it's changed both the environmental impact and the thermal performance of concrete. Manufacturing these blocks still requires cement, which produces a lot of CO2, but far, far less than in traditional blocks. Instead here, it's mixed with lime, sand, water...
And this stuff, this is pulverised fly ash. It's the waste product from all our coal-fired power stations. And every day, 600 tonnes of the stuff gets delivered here to get mixed with all the other materials. In a finished block, 70% of the material is this stuff. Waste.
The active ingredient is a tiny amount of aluminium, which when it's heated reacts with the lime to create millions and millions of tiny hydrogen bubbles.
This is just like bread making, really. All the materials get mixed with water, then they're allowed to rise, and then over there they get baked in a moderate oven for 12 hours.
And as with bread making, heat catalyzes the process and sets the blocks solid.
You know, for me, the thing about these blocks is not that they're lightweight and that they're easy to handle, but that they have in them 1/3 of the material that you would find in a conventional concrete block, thanks to all that air. These are light on the planet.
All that air also makes these blocks great for insulating the building, especially when combined with foam sheets and another layer of dense recycled blocks on the outside. This is a much more thermally efficient home than its Art Deco antecedents.
I can't believe just how quickly this has gone up. This is the great magic of block
It's incredible,
blocks,
isn't it? Yeah, every time I come it's changed again.
Another one. I mean, how many feet a day do they put up?
Oh, certainly at least 3 feet a day.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble though. It catches you out because you've got to keep up with it all.
And of course you see things happening as well, and you walk in and you think, well, actually, that isn't quite how I imagined it. And in fact, we've got a little design tweak down the end here. We've
Really?
We've designed this lovely curved wall here.
Yeah.
And basically it's meant to match the one on the other side, which is going to be glass bricks.
Yeah.
So that would have been glass bricks, this would have been plain plaster's wall. But we've realised that it actually would look much better, far more symmetrical, to have this glass bricks as well.
Well, I guess, I mean, at least you'll end up then with 2 perfectly symmetrical walls.
Absolutely.
Both with glass bricks. That will look very Art Deco.
It will look lovely. It will look very Art Deco, and of course it'll transmit the light into the lounge as well.
So from this side,
Andrew and Helen are just beginning to engage with the design of this project. What they lack in forward planning, they're making up for with enthusiasm.
It's so exciting. I'm just loving every second of it. I come here and have a massive grin on my face when
Really?
I walk in. Yeah, it's just wonderful. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're on a real high today, aren't you? Oh, why?
It's just seeing the dream come alive. It's and I want to get back here as well. I love being here. I've loved living here, and it's becoming a reality again. We can come home.
Is it fanciful of me to think that, given the job you've got, you spend so much time travelling, that the idea of home is consequently, therefore, a fixed place is much more important?
Very much, very much.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very strong link, the home link. It's a very strong link for us because of the travelling.
Well, I guess, you kind of zoom around the world in different places, flying around, and then you come back, and there's a kind of point at which you both walk in the front door or see each other for the first time, and you both sort of relocate almost.
And we do have a rule: you come home and you unpack the case, and you put the case away. You don't leave the case ready to go for the next trip. So you're actually at home. When you're at home, you're at home.
Home is such a refuge for Andrew and Helen. It's really important it's right for them. But already they're facing compromises.
There have been a few discussions about how the roof is going to be made. We've got a hallway upstairs, which we wanted to be open to the roof to give us some natural light in the hallway. But the company that's making the roof, they're having a little hissy fit about that actually at the moment. They're sort of saying, oh, we can't possibly do that. But I think they can be persuaded.
The problem is, it's only at this late stage that the roof manufacturers have been consulted about the vaulted ceiling, and they found a problem.
The reality is that once the truss manufacturers had looked at that option, they came back and said that unfortunately it was almost impossible to achieve because there was no ability to join the roof together structurally.
At the heart of the matter lies the pitch of Andrew and Helen's roof.
To give themselves some extra headroom upstairs, Andrew and Helen have always intended to have a high, vaulted, open ceiling underneath a little shallow pitched roof that they wanted to build behind the parapet. Now, the trouble with pitched roofs is that they want to do this. And to stop it from pulling sideways, you then need to brace across the triangle between the two pitches with lots of struts, which means that Andrew and Helen's void is going to be actually a big, clumsy, triangular space full of timber, which is not what they were expecting to see.
I mean, are we changing the design? Externally, no, but from the interior, yeah, sure we are. We're gonna have beams exposed, whereas the vaulted ceiling I thought we'd have would just be vaulted. I'm not an engineer, I didn't realise we couldn't do that. Therefore, what we're going to have are beams that are going to be exposed. But I think they're going to be a positive addition. I think they're going to look good.
These beams will bring more height and light to the first floor corridor and master bedroom, but they come at a cost.
These joists you're putting up here, you will see this. I mean, the whole point is that in certain of these rooms upstairs, you'll look down the room and you'll see this series of beams.
But I like them. The carpenter said to me yesterday, he said, oh, yeah, you just box them in, Andrew, box them in with plasterboard. Yeah. I said, oh, well, I really like them though, I don't really want to do that.
The thing is that, I don't know, varnished plywood beams with bolts through them isn't very deco, is it? I mean, it may be very nice and beautiful to look at, but it's certainly not authentically 1930s.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
I thought you were going to have, I don't know, Art Deco mouldings, maybe an elevated ceiling here and there. That you, in a sense, inside it was going to be almost a faithful reproduction of a 30s interior.
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is, we've been very fluid about how the inside was going to appear. I generally say when we started building the foundations, I had no idea what we would do inside the house.
No, we've had quite fixed ideas about the outside, haven't we?
Yeah,
and
we've always
some of the main features, the curves, the glass blocks, things like that. But the rest of the house is just sort of evolving as we build it, really.
The real danger here is that in this fusion of Art Deco, modernism, and a 21st century reinterpretation of it, that you end up with a pig's ear. That it's not any one of these things successfully.
I think this is such a new thing that we're just going to have to suck it and see.
Helen and Andrew clearly haven't really thought through the implications of building an Art Deco house. They see it almost as an exercise in building a facade. But the exterior of any house creates an expectation when you walk in the door. You'd expect to see geometric patterns, striking 1920s furniture, and glamorous reflective materials that mirror the drama of the exterior. Art Deco also drew on the historical languages being explored in early silent films, the lavish gilded decoration of imagined biblical settings and classical sculpture.
The excitement of Art Deco was that it brought a new decorative language to the 20th century, and it also brought theatricality, glamour, the glamour of Hollywood, into people's homes.
These distinctive interiors are such an essential part of the style that it would be a waste if Andrew and Helen ended up with a classic Art Deco exterior without following through inside.
We've never really thought about the inside.
And I think that's why we're going to have to go back and just look over things like the bathroom and kitchen and maybe offer some little tweaks, little suggestions that will really make the Art Deco thing sparkle.